Though the early years of our marriage were quite turbulent, somewhere along the line, we moved from just surviving the marriage to actually enjoying it. So in this fourth video of our 14th year anniversary series, we're going to be talking about what we actually did to move from turbulence to bliss. And that's why our topic today is what? The turning point from turbulence to bliss. That's the general core or message of this video. What you actually did to move from turbulence to bliss. So now let's discuss now.
Okay.
Yeah, what really was the turning point in our marriage from turbulence to bliss? In the area of finances. Should I go? Okay, I should go. Okay, yes. So, like, if you watched our previous video, by the way, I hope you watched our videos. The part 1, the part 2, part 3. If you not watch it, please go to the channel or go to the page, depending on where you're watching this video from, and please watch those videos. We started a series, so this is the fourth part. It's good for you to watch them so that you can understand some things we are talking about. Now, in the last video we did, the third part 3, we talked about the challenges we faced. We said we faced financial challenges, we faced challenges in childbirth. Yes, delay in childbirth. So let me talk about how did we move from turbulence to bliss in financially. Yes, we actually made some mistakes, like we mentioned in the last video. Financially, we did not invest. At some time when we had some funds, we didn't invest them rightly. We did not use them rightly. We were still thinking of what to do with the business. What to do with the resources, what business to do. And money, the Bible says, what riches, they gain wings and they fly away. So if you don't have something, that's a key point you should take note of. If you have money
you don't have a plan,
and you don't have a plan for it, it goes. So that was one thing that really affected us. But how did we move from that point to where we are now? You come to a point whereby you realize that, look, we have made a mistake. The Igbo man says it's better late than what? Never. So you realize that we made a mistake. What did you do? What did we not do? Right. What did we do? What did we not do right? And things like that.
And then you come agreement.
Yes.
To what
you agree and decide
on
what to do. That is how to come. And that's what we did. We said that, okay, going forward now, yes, we have not used our money wisely over some years. What do we need to do? We need to begin to be intentional. Yes, that's the right word, about what we want to do financially.
Make the right decisions.
Yes. So it's very, very important. You have anything to say?
It's just when one is going in a wrong direction, the moment you realize that this is a wrong direction, you stop, then you turn back to the right direction. So that's exactly what we did.
Yes.
After realizing that the way we are doing our finances is not right, we sat down, we come to agreement, this is what we want to do, and we begin to make plans in that direction. And we got help. Over the years, God has been faithful to us. Despite not being wise financially, God has been faithful that we have never been in debt. We are always able to pay our bills it may be with struggles, but we are always being able to pay our bills.
Sure.
But then God's plan for us financially is more than
just paying the bills.
just surviving.
Yes.
He wants us to live in abundance. So there are decisions. Decisions that we need to sit down together, make agreements, and make plans on how can we get to those things. We are in the process of that, and by God's grace, we know that we'll get there.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, very important thing that is very necessary for you to move from a state of turbulence to bliss in any situation. The challenges we face, you might not face those challenges. There might be some other challenges. Every couple, every family faces. We face challenges.
Yes.
The challenge may vary from family to family, but whatever it is, one key thing that is very important is that both of you must be united in deciding on the way forward. You must be united. You must be in agreement. There must be no division, because the devil thrives on division. It is when, in fact, some challenges we faced, in fact, both financial and other things, one of the reasons why we went through those things was because of the divergent opinions, lack of unity, or inability to come to an agreement on some things. That this is the way forward, and both parties agree that let's go this way. But when one person says this is why I want to go this way. The other one says I want to go that way. That's where the devil is happy.
That is devil's strategies in many homes. You always bring division. You always bring different opinions, and you know that sometimes even the two opinions may not even be the right opinion.
Of course, it might not be God's opinion.
And if you are not, and if you guys are not really humble, or you are not really, as in, come down and be, let's try this one. If it works, especially if the man is the type that is full of ego, and you say, because I'm the man, because I'm the man of the house, it must be my way. And his own way may not be the best way. You understand? But you need to always come to that point of agreement. Agreement is very, very.
It's critical.
In fact, when you look at the Bible,
work together,
it will not be possible. And that's that division, the unity is what God is looking for to make things work for us in the home. When you look at the story of the Tower of Babel, you know, the Bible says that they were so united, and even the fact that they were doing things that is against God's way, but because of the unity, they were going to succeed. And God, it had to take God to come down and divide them for that thing to stop. And since the devil saw that, that's what the devil is always using that strategy, division, to destroy home. So as much as possible, you must make sure that even as a woman, sometimes you just need to, if it is the way you want it, just go through the way. Sometimes
it's not just both parties.
Sometimes you may just have to go to God and go and pray concerning and say, God, have your way. This is what this is the decision we are taking. But God, have your way. So, but that unity is very, very important. It's a key for you to move forward.
So very important. Ensure that you build unity. You know, amongst both of you. That's how you can overcome the challenges you face. And avoid blame games. You know, when we were during that time of the period of when we were waiting for the fruit of the womb, for a child, you know, sometimes those blame games will go, because you didn't go to the hospital, or because you didn't do this thing at this time, or that's why. Because actually, if you watch our previous video, the last one, we talked about the fact that we had 4 miscarriages before our first child came. We had 4 miscarriages. So it's not that we didn't have any child. We had miscarriages. So, you know, sometimes when you have a miscarriage, you lose it. You know, there's it's because I didn't do, or because you didn't do this, or because you didn't do that, or because something is wrong with you, or
that's you should see those attacks, you should see those challenges as if
it's from the devil.
The two of you are a team, and it's an attack from the devil. So it is towards the two of you. It's not only towards one person. So it's better for you to stand together, and you'll be able to stand against it. Bible says that 2 are better than 1. You know, when you stand against, it said 1 shall chase 1,000, but 2 shall chase 10,000. It's when you are together that you'll be able to overcome the powers of the enemy. But if you are fighting against each other, you know, putting fault and blames around each other, you won't be able to go far. So very important. It's good for you to have unity. So let's talk about another thing that actually helps and helped us to build our home in bliss. You know, go from a turbulent time of, you know, one thing is openness and transparency. Openness and transparency is critical to a marriage. But let me ask, how did we imbibe openness and transparency in a marriage? And is it really necessary? Some people may ask that. Must I be transparent? Must I be open to my spouse about everything? Should I tell him everything? One of the things this is one of the things that I thank God for our premarital counseling. During those times we have been taught that you should be open. You know, I remember when we were going through those classes. So they have taught us you shouldn't hide anything from each other. You are now one, because the Bible says that the two will come together and they will become one. So there is no need. There is no need of hiding from each other again. And when you look at the first example of marriage in the Bible, the marriage of Adam and Eve, the Bible says the two of them were both naked and they were not ashamed. So even if I have my weaknesses are open to him, his weaknesses are open, my strengths are open to him. So it is, in fact, there is so much benefit in being open to each other. There's so much benefit in being open with each other. You know, there's so much openness. Even at the early stage of our marriage, I can remember whenever my husband is talking to somebody on the phone, I will know the person is talking. Once I hear the conversation, I can tell that this is the. And most times I'm always right. I will guess right who is talking to, because he will have we will have discussed the issue that maybe talking with this. We discussed many of these guys. In fact, some of them that I've never even seen before. Yes. I've never met them, but I know a lot of them. I know them by name. Once he's discussing, do you know Mr. This engineer, this and that? Before I could meet those people, I know so much about them.
Yeah.
So, and I know whenever he earns money, when anything comes in, I knows everything that is going on.
Yeah.
This is the money. This is what we are going to do. I know his password. I know his password.
Yeah.
Emails, whatever, everything. I know everything, and there's no need for secrecy. And I want it that can even help encourage that is that he could trust me that I'm not going to go out behind him to withdraw his money to do something that will harm him, because we are together, we are one. Whatever anything that is own is mine. Anything that is my own, we are together. So there is no plan behind to harm him, or there is no plan to harm me. So there will be openness, and these are help. When he's making calls, even when he has to step out to go and make the call, I won't be wondering that who is he talking to. You understand? Those kind of things will give you kind of rest of mind. It will give you trust. It will give you so much rest of mind. And you don't know one thing. In fact, I learned this thing recently, that your home should be a place of rest. Your home should be a place of rest. There are so many attacks, so many hustles, so many difficulty out there. But the moment you get to your home, it should be a place of peace and rest. That if you are, when maybe you are working, you are having challenges at office, by the time you come home, you should be able to rest your mind and not be faced with another challenges or another struggles or the other.
So it's very important. Openness and transparency is very. If I did a video, it might not be on this channel, it might be on the other channel. I did Akaze the success mystery. I think I did the video talking about transparency and honesty, why it is important in mind. Very, very go watch that video on the other channel. It's very, very important because when the couple are transparent and honest with each other, it breeds trust, it breeds unity. You understand? It breeds trust. Even if somebody travels and then somebody comes and gives you one report or something, you understand? You can trust that person because you know that we know how far we have come. Now she mentioned something about she knows my ATM PIN and blah blah blah, and then because now let me give you I can't forget many years ago we were in church, a former church, and they were having a couples program. So marriage seminar. So they said the women should go one side and the men should go one side. So the pastor that was talking to us among the men was talking about openness, this thing, honesty, transparency. And one man came and said, I'm getting somewhere. He said, look, how do you want me to be transparent or open with my wife? He said, I give my wife my ATM card. She has access to my ATM card. She has access to my ATM PIN. And then I will be at work. I will not take my ATM card. I'll be at work. I'll just start seeing alerts on my phone, withdraw from my account. She did not tell me. She did not take permission from me. She did not even call me that, darling, I want to, I want to use your ATM, or can I use it? So the man said, how do you want me to be? I mean, what do you want me to do about that now? And why am I bringing that up? Because it's good we are talking about transparency and openness. But you see, trust sometimes, transparency and openness is end. You understand? For your spouse to trust you and to be open to you, you two must have shown some reasons why. Trustworthy. Some qualities of being trustworthy.
Yes.
You understand? Now she says she knows my ATM PIN. She has access to my checkbooks, whatever. I even made you signatory to my account. Why did I do that? Because for donkey years, those checkbooks are there. Even when she knows that there is money in the account, she has never carried the checkbook one day to go and say, let me go and withdraw money. In fact, the time she have used the checkbook, it's me that say you should go, Abi. Also, it's me that say go and need money for this, go and withdraw. Things like that. So transparency and openness helps in marriage, but do not misuse it. Do not abuse it. Yes, that's right. Do not abuse it. Do not abuse
it is end.
Yes.
Once you abuse it, for the other person to be able to trust you again,
it will be difficult.
You are going to, in fact, it may be difficult. You may not even be able to come back again.
Yes.
And if at all you are going to get it, you are going to work hard to earn it again.
Yes.
So the best thing is that don't break those trusts.
Yes.
Don't abuse those opportunities. Don't waste those privileges that they are giving to you.
That was given to
you. Marriage is so sacred and you really need to work on it. The same thing as we are talking about, even talking about infidelity and the rest too.
Yeah, of course.
You need to be very careful. Don't abuse any relationship. Don't abuse each other.
Any opportunity. For example, now she mentioned, I don't know when it's here, you mentioned that you were awake for
while
she was pregnant
doing the pregnancy
of my first child.
Challenges.
She was away for 8 months.
Yes,
I had to leave. She had to leave Lagos to be Abuja
for
like
8 months.
And I was alone.
And I wasn't even worried.
I didn't have anybody in the house with me. I was alone in the house.
But
nothing happened.
Over there, I was not even worried. I wasn't anxious, honestly. There's a kind of level, honestly. There's a kind of openness and trust that you have with each other.
Yes.
If my husband goes out now and maybe he goes for 1, 2, 3 hours and I know that he ought to be back, I won't be panicking whether he has gone to a woman's house or no. There is a kind of trust, and once there is this openness and transparency, all those things are settled. All those things, I know all his friends, I know all his all the people he can talk to. Like I said, when he's talking to somebody on you, I know once I have the discussion, I know the person he's talking to. So there is nothing that is hidden that will warrant me being suspicious of okay, who is this person? Who is this person? There's nobody that can see around there. That he has female friends. There's nobody that can say something that is going on. What is going on between the two? No. So these things are held. Over times, you build it, and once you are building it. Be careful that you don't break it. Be careful that you don't destroy the trust.
Because marriage is work actually.
It's a serious work.
Serious work.
It's not a work for one part. One part of it is for both parties to be.
And it's not a child's play. It's not
for the faint.
It's not for people who are immature. So that's why before you get into marriage, if you are watching this and you're not yet married, ensure you build up yourself emotionally. And
make sure that you have emotional
intelligence.
You have to be emotionally stable.
And
maturity. Yes.
Ensure you build up yourself because it's not for
the weak.
Truly. Okay. Another thing we want to talk about, turbulence, from turbulence to bliss. One of the things that has helped us to move from turbulence and have a blissful marriage, shared goal. We want to talk about shared goals and dreams. Shared goals and dreams. So let me ask you this question: do we have the same, or do we have the same or shared goals and dreams, or are we radically different? That's the question. Are we different from? Are we radically different, or we have similar or shared goals and dreams?
Over time, and that's one of the beauty of building things. From the scratch,
together from the scratch, from small beginning.
Small beginning. As you are growing up, you will be dreaming together. You'll be planning together. You'll be building up.
Very important.
These are some of the things. So over times, our dreams and our aspirations are kind of being similar to each other. And that is how things have been. By the time we have this, we are going to do this. We are going to do this, and that thing helps a lot. That for somebody to have been already built, and you have all your money, and this other person comes. Sometimes you will not fit, you will not gel together. But over time, because of the way we started, we have been able to go. In fact, sometimes I'll just sit down, I'll look back to where we started from, and say, see how far God has brought us from a very long place, So over time, I could say that our dreams and desires are going along.
Let me say that the question says, do we have the same shared goals or shared goals, or are we radically different? Starting first of all, when we first started, let me say the key thing that was similar between both of us was that we're Christians. We're children of God. We're Christians. Now, at that point in time, we might have been radically different in terms of where we are. We might have, but as to that's why I say, when you start at a point whereby you have not achieved much. You have not even achieved. What have you achieved? What did you achieve? We have not achieved much. in life, but it's begin to grow together. You begin to discuss, okay, what is it what do you want out of life? What do I want out of life? For when we talked about if you watch the first video in this series, we talked about before the marriage. We talked about critically about the fact that you need to talk about your vision, where you are going in life. So while we were courting, we had those discussions, we talked about those things. We realized that those things, we discussed where are you going, where am I going? And we came to a point that, okay, we agreed that I think we are going in similar direction. You understand? So we can work together.
Can two work together?
Yes, except we agree.
So we have agreement, yes. We can work together.
So that's the basis. So when you find couples that are radically different, couples are married for 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, they are radically different, but they are still together well. But you know that they are radically different. There is a lot of chaos. The problem starts from the foundation. It starts from when they were courting or when they were together in relationship. Did they really find out whether they are going in the same direction? They didn't. Like we said in one of our videos, we had in our former place where we used to live, we had a neighbor who told us categorically, it's not them say, it's not that we heard from somebody. She told us categorically that my husband is a dream killer. My husband is a dream killer. She told us. Now, why will a woman married after 6 children, not one, not even two, after 6 children, after having 6 children? Now, why will a woman say her husband is a dream killer after 6 children? It's because because something fundamental was wrong from ab initio. They did not have the similar. She and her husband did not have similar goals or shared goals when they were starting their relationship. You understand? So as a result, the husband wants one thing. She wants another thing. You understand? I will not, because of time, I will not go into what the issue, what the things they. We said you can go and watch our video. We talk about it. And so the goals and the dreams are different. You understand? So much, and then there was so much crisis, so much chaos. Many times we have to go, and even though they are far, they are older than us in age, and even their marriage is many years or more than older than us. But we had to go settle because they were attending to our house fellowship or something like. We had to go settle problems again and again and again. So it's very important for you to have shared goals. Similar goals. That starts from the time of the courtship. That's where you determine, okay, this lady, are we going together? Yeah. You understand? Or are we not going together? And like I said in the other video, if you realize that both of you are not going in the same direction, you are not married. You understand? Stop the courtship, stop the relationship, and find somebody that you will gel. Somebody that you can gel with. Somebody that has the similar vision, similar focus as you. Very, very important.
It's not a sin, it's not a crime.
No, it's not a crime.
If you put an end to it.
Yeah, it's not a crime. So what are some of those shared goals? What are those shared goals? Well, like we said, first of all, we're both Christians. And also, another thing that was on our hearts or we were passionate about was that we wanted a godly family. Very, very important. Because of some things we had gone through. I had came from a very turbulent home, a home where there was fighting between my parents every now and then. I came and she did not come from that kind of home, but she had a sibling who had married and then was divorced. So that really it took a toll on her. So we had so as a result of our backgrounds or things we have seen, we had a desire that look, we want a home that is we want a godly family. We don't want to have a home, the kind of home we came out from. We want a godly family, a godly home, a home whereby husband and wife will be together and not at each other's word. Next, that's one of the shared goals. Another shared goal or dream we had was that she was an industrious person. She was into business. I too, though when we were courting, I was still an employee, a 9 to 5 person, but I also had a desire to be on my own. So we both had, and actually before I even met her, God had told me that I'm going to marry someone who will be, very good with her hands, someone who will be industrious. And so more or less, and that was the way she was going. And so I would say that those ab initio, those were some of the things that we saw that, okay, we are both going in the same direction. Also, in the issue of relocating at that time, we both had the desire to say, okay, we believe in Nigeria, we want to stay in Nigeria. I actually asked her when we were cutting that, I believe in Nigeria, but do you plan to go abroad? Japan, the word Japan not come into existence at that time. Do you plan to go abroad? She believes that wherever I go, she goes. I say, okay, no problem. I love Nigeria. I can travel abroad for business, for conferences, for holiday, and all whatnot, for education, but we always come back here. So those are some of the things, shared goals we had to answer that question. Okay, so now another thing we want to talk about that will make a marriage blissful is keeping romance alive. Keeping romance alive. What are some of the things that couples can do, or what are the things that we've done that to keep that romance alive?
You have to be, in this aspect, one has to be intentional about keeping your romance alive, because sometimes a lot of things can take their toll on you. The last thing that will be on your mind. In fact, that's why some people used to tell singles, don't think that they do sex or romance. They do sex 24 hours. No. Sometimes because of challenges, because of the things that are going up and down, the worries, bills have to be paid, you have to work, you get tired. This thing, but with all of this thing, you need to be intentional about keeping your romance alive, and you need to be intentional. Sometimes you may even have to go through counseling or to study, to try to look for some things that you can do to spice up the relationship. It is very, very important. I've had some people making plans or going for honeymoon or going for a secret just between the two of you, where there will be no distraction and this. Some of these things we have not really done it on our own, but these are some of the things that you can do. But personally, you just have to be intentional. Sometimes you need to know the need of each other, especially the need of a man in a marriage is different from the need of a woman. So, and as much as possible, be ready to meet that need, because these are the things that will make, especially the man, not to be looking for it elsewhere. So be ready to make a sacrifice. Be ready to make the sacrifice even when you don't feel like. I remember there was it was Pastor Mildred Okunko that said it. There are times that there are different types of sex that you have. There are times that you have a how does she name it, needful, when it is needful. I can't remember the way she coined it, but dutiful sex. There is something they call dutiful. It is your duty. You don't need it, you don't feel like having it, but because it's a duty that you must render to your husband, you just have to go through it. It's a when he needs it, you as much as possible, even when you don't feel like, just ask God to help you to be able to give it to him. If you decline a day, don't let it go 1, 2, 3 more than 2 days before you can be able to give him back. So you understand, there's dutiful marriage and there's the one that is pleasurable, the ones that you enjoy. So the two must be, you must go as far, and there's a way. Once you understand the need of each other, you find a way to give each other this pleasure and to be able to enjoy the romance. So keep the romance alive.
My own addition to that is personally, I took it. Of course, they say men are not always romantic, but I took it upon myself to ensure that, look, as a man, I don't let the woman shouldn't be the only romantic one. I, as a man, should also be romantic. So, sometimes even when it's not, we are not in the bedroom, but maybe you might just be in the parlor or in the kitchen or somewhere. I just say, okay, let me hug her. Let's hug ourselves. Or let's give ourselves a kiss. Things like that. A lot of mistakes men make, especially men, is that they wait, or even women too. Yes, even women too. Is that they wait until it's inside the bedroom before they do those things. No, but that doesn't spice up the marriage. It doesn't spice up the relationship. Romance is supposed to be spontaneous. It's not something that is planned, is calculated, that when we enter the bedroom we will hug ourselves. When we enter the bedroom we will kiss ourselves. Stuff like that. You should. In fact, it even helps the children sometimes. The children sees that, they see that
they are happy
that their parents are together. Their parents in the home I grew up in. It never happened. It never happened. I can't remember any day that my stepdad and my mom, they hug and say all those things that the things we used to do, and they never did it one day. I never saw it happen. But I read it, or I also relate it from about counseling and pastors, seminars and things like that. That these things are important. So they are very important. So we do them. Of course, we are not the best.
And also, I just want to add to you, just like I said, sometimes romance and it's not just about hugging each other, even helping the others each other. Sometimes one of the things that used to help me, gladdens my heart. We go to the market together. When we come back, all of us we carry it. It is not somebody else. It is not someone alone's job. We all carried everything together. Sometimes we spread it together. We start doing one thing, or everybody is speaking one thing or the other. That kind of alone, it shows that there is love and unity, even within among the family and everybody. So these are one of the ways. Don't just leave the. When it comes to cooking or kitchen, you leave it only to the lady, to the woman, and the man is doing so. And when it is night, you now say you want to come here.
Let's do romance.
So these are some of the things. Like somebody said, if you know you are going to play a game at night, you must start in the morning and begin to set everything in motion.
So actually, romance is not just about sexual escapades, it's about helping one another, like people they talk about the different love languages.
Yes.
But
and sometimes
that one is the topic for
even sometimes even when you get an alert, it's a sign of romance. I remember it was Pastor Adewale. Adewale that was saying, I heard in one of his videos that there was a day that he just sent an alert to 20,000 to his wife. The wife now said, honey, what's this money for? And I said, it's on the breast that touching the money. Come and touch another one. So sometimes so that we sending alerts, things like that too. Can be it shows that you are thinking about this other person. Even sometimes just sending thoughtful messages.
Thoughtful messages. Very important.
At that time they just compose a message and send it to each other. Sometimes praying for each other. These are part of it. So these are intentional acts that you can use. There are still some other ways. If you are married, if you have the ones that you use in your own, you can share it in the comments so that
please drop comments. Drop comments. If you whatever additional thing you want to say based on what we said, or if you have some contrary view, please drop in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you are on Facebook or someone, please follow our page. Very, very important. Thank you so much. Now, let me ask you this question: will you marry me again if the clock were to be wound back?
Of course.
Will you marry me again?
There's a saying that they say that the devil is better than the saint you know. I'm not saying you are a devil, but sometimes when I look at some marriages, when I look at the way some men behave, I just thank God for the cause me I'm carrying. It's very light and it is very easy for me. And I will gladly carry it all over again. You understand? I don't know. Sometimes I just sit down and I just say, God must have really known me to give you to me. You understand? I'm telling you, I just say that God, because I don't know how else you could do life so easily like this. Because sometimes I look at the way I am. If I'm in somebody else life, I don't think my marriage will have lasted this long because because of my own weakness. I know some of my weaknesses. For you to be able to curtail it and to live with it, that means that God to really pick us for each other. I want to. I'm so sure about that because some men will not take some of the things that you are taking. That I'm sure you understand. And God is helping us. We are not. Nobody is perfect. We are learning and we are still in the process of it.
Okay. So for me, I would say I will. You say, well, you marry me again. Will I marry you again? If the clock will, of course I will, because like you said something which I also, sometimes when I see some women and see how they carry themselves, how they behave, how they act, both married and unmarried, I just say thank God for my own. That's just I think that's a statement or something that comes to mind. Say thank God for my own. Of course, like you said, nobody is perfect. It was not Pastor Fumi Johnson that was talking about the 80% and the 20%. She was the one talking about the 80%, that there's no 100%. I don't think. Well, I don't know. I will be wrong.
No,
there's no human being that is 100% perfect. That this husband or this wife is 100% perfect. But a lot of times you find an 80%. You understand? So that 80%, what she was trying to say, that 80%, you can live with that 80%. And you understand? And overlook the 20%. So I can say you are not 100%, but that 80% is wonderful. Is wonderful. So if we were to wind the clock back, I will still marry you. I will still marry you again. So another question goes: if you say yes, that you marry me, does that mean I'm perfect?
Of course not. We have said that.
Okay.
No, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect.
Yes,
in fact,
nobody is perfect.
There are so many things I would love to change about you, but one thing about life is that I can't change you.
Yes.
You can't change me.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Sure.
It's only God.
You take note of that. Those of you who are not married,
for over 40
those of you
years,
that want to marry and say I'm going to change him,
for over 40 years, there are some things that is in him that I have just given up that this thing is only God, and that's what I've resolved to. And there are some things that even myself, I want to change in my own self. I want to change in my own life that I've not been able to change. Myself, not to talk of changing other people. So nobody, I know you are not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. But like I said, we are becoming. We are in the process of becoming.
Everybody's work in progress.
To become better than who we were 10 years ago, who we were yesterday. We are just trying to be a better person daily.
The key thing is, let us work, like the Bible says, striving towards how the Bible puts it now, towards perfection. You understand? Or perfecting holiness in the fear of God. You know, we should always seek to be striving towards what?
Be better person.
To be a better husband, to be a better wife.
Yes.
And like I said, for those of you who are not yet married and watching this video and say, I have a spouse, I have a guy or a girl that I'm going to change. I will change him, I will change her. They play.
Are you whining me?
Be sure. Anything, in fact, the rule, which I always tell young people, or people, we are still young, which I always tell singles, is that if there's something in that person that you know that you don't like, or you know that this thing in this person, I've told this person about it, he has not changed it. Can I live with it for 5 years? Can I live with it for 10 years? Can I do that thing for? Think of how old you are. You understand? Think of how old you are. How far you have come since you came to like they say now, since you start having sense that okay, I know my left and my right. How many years are there? Maybe you are 20 something, you are 30 something, whatever age you are. Think of how long you have been on earth. If you get married to somebody, for example, at 30, the plan is that you are going to live 40, 50
years.
For let's say 40, at least you say live to 80. If you marry at 30, you are going to live for 50
years.
That's
50 years or 60 years of marriage.
Yes, so,
I've seen somebody say 60 years of marriage.
So now that means that you are going to live far longer with that person, or without issue than the number of years you have spent on earth.
Yes.
Maybe if you are 20 something, now you are going to spend another
50 years or 20.
2 or 3 times your age on earth with that person. You should ask yourself, this thing that this person is doing, can I live with it for? Can I live? Think of your age. Can I live? Can I live with it from the time I was born till now? Can I? If you are 25, can I live with this thing for another 25 years? If your answer is capital no, please carry your leg and is it japa? What do you call it? Run from that relationship. Disappear. Say break it up. Because something you cannot manage now, just maybe how many months you have been together, or maybe if you have been courting for years, but you are not yet married. If you cannot manage that, if that thing is still a problem to you, I tell you, in the marriage it will become worse. You cannot change that person. You cannot change that person. So if you see something that is not palatable and it cannot be changed, don't go into it with the mind that you're going to change it, or the person will change. The person will change you, but that is left for God, for the Holy Spirit, not you. You will not be able to change that thing. Only that person, only God can change that person. But if that thing is something that this thing, I can't live with it, then what should you do? Don't even try it.
One thing they can do is that if the person says that I want to change, you may seek help.
Yeah, seek help.
Seek help and make sure the person changes even before you go into the marriage.
Yes.
And you see how far the person is willing to. Yes. For example, now there was a couple that the wife was complaining that the husband is into infidelity.
Okay, yes.
And you
yes.
know, and when we were discussing with them, we
Yes.
found that she said that it's something that she has noticed while
why they were still single,
before they got
why they were still in relationship.
Each other, you know.
Yes.
And I said,
and she has caught him
somebody, and I said, you
while they were still dating.
And I said, since you already know this thing,
you still
it
went
was
ahead.
good with you. You were
Yes.
okay with it. You enter into the relationship. That means
Yeah.
that.
And now it's now started manifesting after
And
many
this
years.
one now, it has now gone into
Yes,
a
to the
bigger
point
one.
that the man.
Now you don't want to go through it again.
Yes,
You have
yes.
to continue to enjoy it.
Of course.
Because it suits you.
Yes.
That's why you enter into it. You
Yes.
know a man was cheating. You were not the only one he was dating while you were dating each other.
Yes.
And you know you saw it not once or maybe not twice. You were able to cut it, but you still went ahead into the marriage. That means that you have to just enjoy it and keep quiet. Just be praying. God may change you more if he wants to change. Like in fact, at a time we had to tell the lady, see, it's only God. You can this complaint, this shouting that he called us come and talk to the man. I said we can talk to him, but that doesn't guarantee that he will change.
Yes.
You can't change him. Your nagging cannot change him. The only thing that can change him, if he's a man, he's an adult, if he decides that he wants to change, he will change on himself. Or if God help him, and that's it. And since that, in fact, she just rested and said, "It's her own cross." She will continue. I think because of that, is that reduce a lot of things. So whatever you are not able to change in courtship, look at those situations and see, can I live with these things? Can I overlook? Can I live with it and enjoy this marriage? Or will this thing continue to bring me problem or give me an issue or give me an attack? It's better if it is, put an end to it. Find the things that will give you rest, the things that will give you peace.
So now what's our takeaway from this video? Our takeaway is that marriage isn't automatic, but is intentional, and it gets better with time. Like we said in the video, marriage requires a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's not for children. It's not a child's play. It requires a lot of work, and so you need to put in a lot of work into your marriage to ensure that it is success. We talk about transparency, we talk about openness, we talk about shared goals, shared values, we talk about facing challenges and then deciding to make a change. And we talk about unity. Both of you being united. Okay, so very importantly, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to this channel, share this video to as many that may not be watching with you, but that need this video. You know homes that have some challenges, have some troubles or some problems. What should you do? You need to do You need to share to them. And I know that as they watch, the Lord will transform their lives in Jesus' name. Transform their lives and their marriage in Jesus' name. So we've come to the end of this video. Marriage gets better when you grow better, and so in our final episode, please watch out for it. We're going to be talking about we're going to be sharing our advice to intending couples. We call it lessons for the next generation of marriages. That is going to be the fifth part, the fifth and last part of this series. So please look forward to that video, or by the time you might be watching this video, it might already have been out. So check our channel or check our page somewhere, you'll find that video there. So till that time, we wish you all the best. Stay blessed. Don't forget to subscribe. God bless you.
Thank you.
See you on top.
Bye-bye.
Bye.